Today on Game Talk Live, we're investigating Las Vegas's emerging esports scene and how competitive gaming could revitalize the Vegas gambling economy. Let's dive right in. Today on Game Talk Live, we're investigating Las Vegas's emerging esports scene and how competitive gaming could revitalize the Vegas gambling economy. Let's dive right in. I'm Mandy Roman, and welcome to Game Talk Live, where we discuss the biggest video game news of the day, live with help from our chat audience. Joining me now are three expert guests to discuss these gaming topics and more. First up is Rahul. Rahul Sood is a serial entrepreneur who's founded a number of companies, including Voodoo PC, Bright Squid Medical, Bulls on Wall Street, and is an active angel investor in a number of startups. Currently, he is co-founder and CEO of Unikrn, a venture-backed esports betting company based in Las Vegas that aims to heighten the experience of watching and participating in esports. Welcome to the show, Rahul.
Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Good, thank you so much. Also joining us today is Paola, Alejandra, an international esports host and on-camera entertainer for companies like Marvel, Twitch, ESL, MLG, and many more. Welcome back, Paola.
Thanks for having me, Mandy. Nice to see you again.
Likewise. And also joining us today, another familiar face, it's Markeia McCarty, a host for Popcorn Talks Marvel Movie News. She's a lifelong gamer and classic console player. As a nerd culture and gaming journalist, she provides content for numerous outlets, including Nerdist, Screen Junkies, Collider, Machinima Studios, and Maria Menounos' AfterBuzz TV. Hi, Markeia.
Hey, Mandy. Glad to be back.
All right, guys, let's hop right into today's first topic. For years, the skin resale market for CSGO has been hugely profitable. On the flip side, it's also been a breeding ground for scams and fraud. In a recent blog post, Valve instituted a week-long cooldown for all CSGO trades to help reduce unintended uses of the trade system. There's been mixed reactions from the community, with some players celebrating the change and others cashing out their skins and abandoning the market altogether. So how could this waiting period potentially break the skin betting economy? Paola, why don't you start us off?
Well, this is like gamers are a creature of habit. So I think, having something like this is definitely going to ruffle a lot of feathers. But in a way, only time will tell if, in fact, this will be a healthy fix for the CSGO community. I can understand how this can also be kind of an uproar if you've been collecting and using third parties as like trading or collecting skins. I can understand how that can be annoying. But I kind of like that Valve is kind of getting involved. I think that's been a long time doing, that they really get in touch with their community and try to fix maybe some things internally.
Mm-hmm. Rahul, what are your initial thoughts around this 7-day waiting period?
Honestly, I think it's too late. I think Valve should have been on this a long time ago. Very few people know this, but skin gambling is essentially has enabled the largest underage gambling ring in the history of gambling, like ever. It was so big, it was so out of control, and it's mostly on Valve's platform, which sucks because I'm a big fan of Valve, and I'm a Seattle, like Unikrn is a Seattle-based company, Valve is based in Seattle. It really sucks, and it's unfortunate that there were many streamers that sort of were part of it, certainly not all, but there was a small minority of streamers that were part of promoting it in an illegal fashion. There's sites out there, mostly across Eastern Europe and places like that, where they just don't care. Like they don't care that 13-year-old kids are coming on and losing hundreds of dollars betting skins on sites that don't plan on working right in the first place. So I think it's late. I don't think 7 days solves it. I think they have to really rethink their whole system and come up with a better regulated platform for skin trading.
Mm-hmm. Markeia, do you think this is a ploy by Valve to bring the marketplace back to Steam rather than these maybe outside sources?
Oh, well,
No, I actually didn't think that it was that. I really do think that it's just a case of basically what Rahul said, where it's too little, too late. It's like they're trying to bolt the barn when the horses have already run away. And with this, I like that they did this policy. Of course, I don't bet online, so it doesn't really affect me. But I like that they're taking measures and they're trying to do this. But yeah, at this point, it's done. It really is. Might just have to. And plus, there was that uproar that happened on, was it change.org, where they had that petition.
Mm-hmm.
They almost have 150,000 signatures saying Valve stop. It's like nobody's feeling this at this point. I don't know. Maybe shorten that time, 3 days. I mean, just the entire thing it's pretty messed up. I'm glad that they're paying attention, but it's just too late.
Mm-hmm. Paola, who benefits from this new system? Does anyone? Do the players?
I mean, I don't think anybody is really going to benefit from this because it's too late to kind of put it all together. I think if they do maybe this trial and see how it goes, and maybe in fact they find some kind of loophole where they can put it back together and give power more to Steam, maybe in fact there could be a way to salvage this. But it's not a good look, you know. It's not a good look having underage kids betting, becoming addicted to this, you know, type of way. I mean, not enjoying really the game. In fact, being more addicted to like trading skins. So I think they need to kind of experiment until they find a good medium where they can satisfy not only the community who has invested, you know, in the right way, and in fact, you know, find a way to help so there's not underage kids betting and stealing their parents' credit cards.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Bud in chat says, I think there's a chance we'll lose players that played because of the gambling, but those that love the game will stick around. So we've got a quote here. Excuse me. The guy's name is Raffle Monster. Just putting that out there. So a quote from Raffle Monster says, destroying the ability of users to trade items without restriction will likely result in a widespread decrease in the amount of user-to-user trades, and thus a similar decrease in interest for said items. So will this be detrimental to the marketplace, since those trading or selling can't be kind of reactionary to what is gaining or losing momentum? Say an item is worth $200 on day one, and then you wait 7 days, it's decreased to 75. Rahul, what do you think?
I think he's absolutely right. Look, I think that good operators like Unikrn, you know, we have a jackpot system where we give away, we have a thing where people can come in and trade their skins for tokens of value. That way they don't have to wait for people to buy their skins. And then we put them into these jackpots that are, you know, it's a regulated platform, so people can actually win these things. And there's no gambling involved or anything like that. But basically, you know, everybody got penalized, including the good operators like Unikrn. And it's just weird. It's a really weird way of solving the problem. Like it makes me think that Valve doesn't quite get how big this problem actually was. And if they do get it, then they're going about it the wrong way by trying to slow things down. I mean, if there's scammers out there, which we know there are, they're going to find ways to continue to scam, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, you know, the whole CS:GO, you know, the reason CS:GO became popular was on the back of the skin trading, you know, phenomena and the whole marketplace, but they just didn't do a good job of controlling the API. I think they need somebody inside who really gets the regulated space, and they need to treat skins almost like a currency. And if they do that properly, they would not have this problem at all.
Well, do you think this is a ploy so that they can see more of a cut of these skin sales or trades that are happening if they're happening on the Steam marketplace, because Valve gets a cut of that profit?
I don't know what it is. I think it's almost a panic move by somebody inside saying, holy shit, we're getting nailed by, you know, a bunch of regulators or something. You have to stop this now or you're going to lose your job. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you why they went this way. I would tell you that if they had called us and asked us how to handle it, we would have given them a much better solution to this problem. It's just unfortunate. You know, they're a really great company, and but you know, they also control a lot of what we do. So you kind of gotta live with it and see where it goes. Thankfully, there's other games out there, who have closed their ecosystems for trading skins, and they're very successful. So, we'll see.
Yep. So speaking to maybe different ways of handling this situation, I mean, Markeia, if not a 7-day waiting period, what do you think is the answer to this? How do we combat, this is such a heavy question, but maybe underage gambling, or, what's the other solution here?
Okay. Well, the whole reason why they did that 7 days is because they had an algorithm that said that, oh, people usually trade just once every 7 days. So it's like, okay, great, we're just going to put that down for everybody, and that works. And it doesn't work, and that's why they have this uprising with it. I think a compromise with that might work, but with the underage gambling, it's already rampant. It's already there. I mean, at this point, they almost have to chuck it all out and fix it from the ground up to then make it work again. I mean, it's a really bad thing.
Yeah, Paola, do you have a potential solution in mind?
Oh, man, I don't know about solutions, but I definitely think that they didn't go the right way with consulting people. I'm sure there was a lot of companies out there that, could have given them a lot of reason to go about different ways. And, I agree, this has to go from the ground up. It needs to be completely wiped, and it needs to have a brand new infrastructure. So there is a way to ID people in a proper way. So it's people that, are of age that can participate in something like this, or participate in some kind of way. But it has to be completely wiped and start fresh from new, and it's going to take some company, obviously like Valve, to do that amount of work. Now, I don't know if they're busy working on Half-Life 3, which I hope they are.
Or Paola, sweet Paola.
I love that so much.
I'm just hoping. I don't know what they're doing in that beautiful office in Seattle, but they're doing something, and I would really wish that they would consult these third-party companies who are doing it right, who are doing it so people can actually enjoy the trading process. So it's just, I think it's going to be. They're going to have to outsource. They're going to have to see what works and kind of maybe use some other modeling techniques that other companies have used, so it could be successful for them and they don't have to go through this again.
All right, Rahul, if you had to give Valve one piece of advice on how to handle this, what would you tell them?
Pick up the phone and call me, because we come from a highly regulated business. Our industry is highly regulated. We work with regulators around the world. I work with the Washington State regulator. Valve has an opportunity here to lock down their API and open it up to good operators who can create a safe and fun environment for people to trade their skins without enabling illegal gambling. And there is a way to do that. And I think the way they did it initially was they just let the API go wild and anybody could use it. Instead of locking down the time frame as to which skins or how long skins can be traded or that sort of thing, they should just completely lock down the API and make it available to businesses that are regulated, that are good operators, that have good reviews, good history, and there's not going to be lots of them. Believe me, I can tell you that of all the skin trading sites, there's probably maybe only like 4 or 5 that are actually good operators that operate the way you should operate a business. That's what has to happen. And those 4 or 5 are capable of doing all the volume in the world for this trading. So that's what Valve needs to do.
All right, it's time to take a quick break, but before we do, I want to ask our viewers to send us a message letting us know what topics you'd like to see us discuss on the show. We'll be right back.
We have 75 players in here. Let me hear you make some noise.
Hi, my name's Todd. We're going to be playing some H1Z1, and a lot of you out there are going to be able to win some prizes by guessing when our guests die. Sasha, are you ready to go play some H1Z1?
Let's do this.
I think we've seen this story before.
We got a lot of guests tonight from all over the world. They're competing for a trophy, our Champion of the Night prize. Which one of you is going to be the best player tonight?
Anybody that comes in my way is done.
Get a helmet, get a backpack, get a rifle.
Or just hide and hope I get lucky.
He's feeling the earth. That's a very Native American approach to battle.
I give the people what they want to see.
Oh my God! Oh wow, he took a big hit. He got it!
Can you throw me in like the Norwegian server or like someplace where they're just not gonna find me?
No.
Did I die first?
No one's died that early in the game ever.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Las Vegas has been home to esports tournaments like EVO World Championship Series for the past 13 years. In recent history, more tournaments and leagues have made Sin City their home. With the inaugural season of H1Z1 Pro League and the debut of venues such as the Esports Arena at the Luxor, what makes Las Vegas the ideal destination as a hub for esports? Rahul, why don't you start us off?
Yeah, sure. So I've been a kind of a long-time advocate for changing the face of entertainment in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, actually, more people are going to Vegas now than ever in the history of Las Vegas. So, so last year I think there was like 46 million people. The year before that, it was somewhere around 45 million people. Bottom line is, there's more people going to Las Vegas now than ever before, and Vegas is changing their revenue models quite significantly, as a matter of fact. Whereas in the past, the majority of revenue came from gambling. Now the majority of it is coming from just broad entertainment. 70% of their revenue comes from non-gambling, non-gambling sources, and 30% is wagering. And Vegas is investing heavily in sports right now. I'm not just talking about esports, but I'm talking about NFL is coming there. They've got this crazy NHL team that's doing really well. They've got a soccer team. They have a women's basketball team. They're investing heavily in sports. And when you think about the slot area, which is probably their bread and butter inside the casino, the slots are losing revenue. Like they're not as popular as they once were. And all these young people are walking through the casino and just going straight by the slot machines. So what are they doing to combat that? They're retheming the slot machines. I mean, they're taking old slot machines and they're putting in Britney Spears and Pitbull, expecting young people who are going to Vegas to go into the nightclub to stop and play the slots. But still, there's more people, more walkers and wheelchairs per square foot in the slot machine area than anywhere else in the casino. So enter esports, and this is kind of what's going on now. Unikrn has a contract with the MGM Grand Resorts, where we've set up weekly tournaments inside of the MGM Grand right now. These are smaller tournaments. You have the Esports Arena inside the Luxor, which is another MGM property. They took over a 30,000 square foot nightclub and turned it into an esports arena. I really feel like this is just the beginning, and I think Vegas is an amazing place to become a mecca for esports, given the broad entertainment that's there, and also the audience is getting older as well. Now, I'm a bit of an anomaly. I'm in my early 40s, and I still play video games. I probably play 2-3 games a day. But there's people younger than me, say like 5-10 years younger, that are going to be like me as they get older. And the audience is growing in both directions. Kids start playing games when they're 2 years old, and they'll continue to play games later on in life, which is why I believe that betting on esports is the future of betting. So.
All right, great insight. So Markeia, are video games the right medium to bring in a new audience to Las Vegas?
Heck yeah. Are you kidding? As soon as I heard about the Level Up Lounge in Luxor in the Esports Arena, it's like, yeah, that's someplace that I would love to be. I periodically go to Vegas, but to think that they have a lounge that would cater completely to me, that's fantastic. I just hope that Vegas doesn't really catch on to something like if they do an FPS that you put money into and you have to feed it, and then once you get to a certain level, then you gamble, and then you continue on with the FPS. As long as they don't catch on to something like that, I think I'm safe, because then that's all my coins. that they're going to get. But no, like a esports arena is fantastic. All of this is. I mean, with what fantasy football has done for everyone with the, I love that they're doing esports. I love that there's a gambling aspect with it, because I don't gamble at home, but when you go to Vegas, you have a mindset of, I'm going out, I'm going to enjoy myself. So why not enjoy yourself in esports arena? See some people do competitive games, you put down $10 to $75 and see how you stack up too.
Yeah. Yeah, hold that thought, because we'll come back to that. So Paola, as someone that's been to the esports arena, a couple of times at this point now, even since it opened. I mean, is this tapping into? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got to host one of the first events, first week of opening. It was a Smash tournament, so I got to see kind of firsthand of what the internals, the behind the scenes, the production, and I can tell you, everybody there is amazing. They have people who've worked that come from a pedigree of working on Super Bowls. The team in general is amazing to work with. So there's going to be a lot of esports talent going, including our agency CSA that is going to be representing there. We have a lot of people. We're very interested, not just as in talent, but just streamers in general going in and kind of making a face for gaming as well. I know that it's esports centric, that everyone's like thinking, but this is actually bigger than that. It's just gaming as a whole, as becoming more of a culture for day-to-day people who maybe weren't as considered gamers, but maybe, were casual mobile gamers, now can have a place where they can see the broader picture of what gaming and esports really is. Because sometimes, even to this day, when I have to explain what I do for a living, I have to explain what esports is, and it's always like something different. And I kind of do this like experiment, like social experiment with people, where I'm like, it's sports, but competing, and like I'll just say different adjectives and words, and I think people are so curious about it. And when you say something like Vegas, they're like, oh, I go to Vegas all the time, my kids love video games. I'm like, well, you guys need to visit this this space at the Luxor, and it's from head to toe one of the most beautiful arenas I've seen. I've worked with Esports Arena down in Santa Ana. I've done events for them down there, and they've copied a very smart model where it still looks like their ecosystem, their whole vibe, their whole company. It's just they're following a very good business model, and I think that if they continue to have the events that they do, they will continue to be really successful. But there is a lot of competition coming. I just was in Vegas this last weekend, and there are rumors that the Aria is going to have a space really, really soon, and also the Rio is going to have a space really soon. So I think that this is just the beginning of esports and gaming in Las Vegas.
Sure. So, Rahul, I have to ask, what is the goal for the new Level Up arcade at the MGM Grand? Is this a for everyone destination, or are you targeting specifically gamers to come to Vegas?
So I would say the Level Up space is a little different. It's not like a dedicated 30,000 square foot nightclub. It's more of a smaller casual tournament. So if people want to come to Las Vegas and they cut through Level Up, we run weekly tournaments and weekly events. We have Fortnite Fridays, and then every Saturday there's some sort of tournament. There might be a tournament on, NBA, or there might be a tournament on, NHL hockey or whatever, or even like fighting game tournaments. We do a bunch of those too. Mm-hmm. I think of so Unikrn actually builds software around these types of tournaments. So we not only build software, but we build the most comprehensive sports book for esports on earth. So a sports book is basically odds, and we produce all the odds for all the major tournaments. And so if there's an opportunity for like a wagering opportunity, say at the MGM or at the Luxor or wherever, they'll likely be using a Unikrn app for that. And that's sort of the future of where we're going. So don't think of us as the operator themselves, the ones who own the nightclub or run the events in the space. We're the ones who will produce the software and allow them to create a really good wagering experience around what's happening in the space. So yeah, that's sort of what we do.
All right. So over the past decade, Vegas tourism has remained steady, but overall gambling revenue has dipped. With esports making waves in the Vegas landscape, the city is looking for ways to capitalize on this rising industry. So how do you Las Vegasify esports? And Markeia, I know you were starting a thought there in our last topic, so do you want to tell us how you think they can Las Vegasify, for lack of a better term, esports?
Sure. I mean, I thought more about my my FPS gambling game that I just came up with. So with that, yes, you would start off at FPS with however much money that you put in, and then depending on how well you play, you could double your stake, but you have to gamble that amount. I need to go to Vegas at this point. I'm sure this exists there. But for this, I really enjoy this because one of the things that Vegas likes to do is say that it's for the whole family. And right now, as kids grow up, it isn't so much, going to a show and seeing magic so much as the kids that play video games all the time and you want to connect with your kids. Then where are you going to go? Go to Esports Arena, connect with your kids there, have a beverage, and watch some games. It's such a sound business model. I'm very surprised that they haven't done it yet. I'm glad that they're doing it now for purely selfish reasons. And I want them to continue that. I want for there to be competing lounges in different hotels. I want for them to be attracting different competitive players with those. And then also celebrities. Like, hey, David Duchovny is going to be here for an hour. I don't know why I just thought about David Duchovny, but for instance... And then it's like you get to play against him with Super Mario Kart or something.
That could be fun. I like that. Paola, what are your thoughts? I mean, do you think there could be betting on match outcomes, tournaments, maybe skin gambling? Like where do you think the Las Vegasification of esports is?
I think right now it's kind of, it's got its foot in the door, and I think they're working on consulting with a lot of people on how to do this right. I know with the Esports Arena, they've thought of every little avenue. So they have different events, I believe almost like every day, but they also have a amazing gourmet restaurant inside. So I don't know about you, but I love esports and I like eating very well. And I pretty much ordered everything on the menu. Just to say, I ordered everything on the menu from the Esports Arena.
I would have done the same thing. Like Jose Andres, an incredible chef for Esports.
Well, I knew who he was. I knew the chef was, but I was like, let's see. And I asked them, would it be okay? They were like, what do you want for lunch? I was like, I know this is going to be like asking a lot, but can I get everything from the menu? And they were like, yeah, sure, as long as you talk about it. And I was like, okay. So I literally had my table full of food. While I'm watching Smash, I have like a poke bowl. I have amazing sushi. I have this like gourmet salad. I'm in heaven. I'm watching Smash, watching people excited with their families, eating gourmet food, watching people have a good time. It really captured the visual of what could this be. This could be the future of entertainment, esports, Las Vegas. And Las Vegas is, a quick destination. Every airport I know in the world has a destination to Vegas. So I think if Vegas does this right and they keep their integrity and they hire companies that, have integrity also, that they could build a great way to also introduce gambling in a safe way so people that are adults can also enjoy that aspect of Vegas and gambling with a dose of esports and gaming.
Mm-hmm. Cameron in chat says, PlayStation-themed casino, and I'm in. Same. So, Rahul, have you implemented, you guys have Unicoins, right, as your own currency. Has that been implemented into Level Up at all?
It's coming very, very soon. So we just got approval from the Nevada regulator to bring in Unicorn Gold onto the casino floor. We just haven't come out and said much about it yet. I probably shouldn't be talking about it until it actually happens. But I really like what Paola said. She's so right on this. Like, integrity is everything, and I think companies with integrity are going to be the ones that are going to help to bring this space into the future. It's really neat. Like the Esports Arena is exactly as she described. It's beautiful. It's It's amazing food. Like they've just done a spectacular job, and it's going to take time for it to build into something great because a lot of the gaming community still doesn't understand it yet. You know, there's a lot of people that are kind of younger that think, oh my God, gambling is terrible, stay away from us, you know, that area. But I think as people get older, they start to understand why it actually makes sense. You know, regulated gambling is the reason that traditional sports like NBA basketball and Major League Soccer have integrity. It's why there's, you know, anti-cheating programs and integrity programs and things like that, because there's no better way to spot a cheater than through a wagering book. You know, if you have a 15-to-1 underdog getting major betting action, you can stop the tournament right away. You can stop betting. You can contact the tournament organizer, say there's something weird going on, run an investigation. It's all about integrity, and so. You know, so I think that I really do believe that this is the future, and I think it's going to take time to build out. And what's interesting about the esports arena is I look at them as more of a production studio. Like they're going to have events there, but they're actually creating content that can be consumed in like 1 hour increments or whatever. They're going to stream stuff online, but they're also going to create content for TV and make it even more, you know, create more awareness around esports. Mm-hmm. There's probably nothing more gratifying for me than flying over Las Vegas and seeing the pyramid with esports on the side of it. I mean, it just blew my mind because 4 years ago, when I started this company, we had already been speaking with MGM. We'd been speaking with MGM for a few years about this, you know, and we'd actually talked to them about the LAX space and what they were planning on doing. And just to see this vision come to life is pretty phenomenal. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we are coming to the end of our show. I would like to thank all of our viewers and our guests for being here. Just tell us where people can find you online, and we'll start with Rahul.
So they can find me at Rahul Sood. It's right there on the bottom, and then you can find my company Unikrn at UNIKRNCO, and also www.unikrn.com.
Fantastic. Thank you. All right, Paola, where can people find you online?
You can just find me at PancakePow. That has all my hub social media stuff, and be hosting really soon places. So that's if you want to know more about that and what I do, you can find it there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. All right, Markeia, where can people find you online?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at McCarty. Also, it's down at the bottom of the screen. And yeah, I post on there other shows that I'm on, so just connect with me there.
All right, thanks, Markeia. And thanks to everyone who watched, commented, and shared the show. I'm Andy Roman. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and watch Game Talk Live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific. We'll see you next time.